volume up, and we'll add in the audio afterwards. So, greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. Today, first off, disclaimer, this is our kids' game featuring Moon, the Kitsune, journeying through and his misadventures in the southern colony. So, this is kid-friendly, and there's not going to be any adult language, or at least not language that I consider to be adult or things like that. So now, we are going to pick back up in just a moment, but first, let's get our announcements out of the way. So, first announcement, Patreon for the Inn of Planar Crossroads is going on. We have a $50 goal of Patreon, $50 a month, and we're going to give away a rulebook when we hit that. And once we hit $100 a month, we're going to give away a special edition, which we have on order, a special edition Pathfinder 2E rulebook for the playtest that's coming out. So if you're a collector, it might be worth throwing your hat in for that drawing. Our current session is going to be session 7 of Misadventures in the Southern Colony. Next announcement, next subscriber appreciation one-shot is going to be at 200. We are getting pretty close. We're at 180-ish. So now we just need about 20-ish more people to go ahead and subscribe, and Colin will run a one-shot for everybody. So that'll be pretty cool. Our monthly giveaway is going to be this month, the D20 dice mug that is red with white lettering and a lid. It's pretty nice looking. So if you want to get in on that, there's your chance. And you have until the end of this month to do so. For those paying attention to the Inn of Planar Crossroads in our release schedule, we've been doing kind of a way back Wednesday thing where we've been re-releasing some videos that were on another channel that we had going before this one. And this way people can come in and find what they're looking for on all of the things we've played. So, there's that. We're going to be at the St. Louis Comic-Con in June. Stay tuned, because once we hit probably June, I'll be announcing our plans for what we're doing for the Pathfinder 2nd Edition prep, and how we're going to be incorporating it to what's going on with the rules change and Pathfinder 2nd Edition probably coming out. So, keep up with us for that. Do check Black Dragon Gaming, who usually games with us on our adult game, and I think that's it. So, let's go ahead and get started. We are coming back. Moon has just delivered the message to
the Sheriff.
The Sheriff, yes, Masterson. And he said to rest, and that they're going to prepare, and tomorrow you guys are going back into the Forgotten Fields, and you are going to figure out you guys are going to go back into the Forgotten Fields and try and catch those individuals that were there. So, now we need to decide, or rather, now you need to decide if there's anything you want to do before things go on.
Are you talking to me or them?
You. And remember to speak loud enough that people can hear you.
Okay. I'm going down for breakfast, or is it around lunchtime?
Well, you met Masterson for lunch. So you went out there, it'd been like a couple hours, so I think it's like probably around 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock right now. So that'll all depend on what you want to do. So, you've got time to maybe hit up a store or two if you need to, or you can go back to the Golden Grain and wait and focus, or...
I like to go to the armor, the weaponist place.
Okay, so you can go to Gregory's weapon rack if you want. There's also half-man outfitters, but they mainly handle armor. Yeah, those are the ones you know about right now. You could go looking around some more. I
want to go to his place.
Whose place?
Weapon rack.
Gregory's weapon rack. Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you looking for? Well, what are you looking for? Because you kind of looked around a bit, so you'll know if it's there or not. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something like a crossbow.
Well, you've got a short bow.
Yes, I want a crossbow so I can do it at a longer range, and it doesn't take as much.
Well, you actually get more range with a short bow.
How's that?
It has about the same range. So, I mean, we can look it up to make sure, but I believe it has about the same range. And you can always...
Well, I head to the Shire Reef's place.
Well, you're leaving the Shire Reef right now.
Well,
and he said that you're gonna wait until tomorrow morning to do the raid on those people out, those Duergar, he called them, out there, because he wanted them to think that they were not found out. He wanted them to think that they were not found.
I want to go to Gregory's weapon rack.
Okay. And what are you're looking for that crossbow, you said?
I may change my mind.
Well, a light crossbow is going to do... You're a small creature, so it's going to do a d6. And your short bow is going to do a d4. It takes longer to load a crossbow, just so you know. You can get one shot off, and then you have to load it as a whole round, if I remember right. So you can actually fire a short bow faster. So it's going to be up to you. You do a little less damage, but you got a little more speed on it. And the range of a crossbow, even a light one, is 80 feet versus 60 feet for a short bow. But you're kind of trading off speed for speed. You're trading off single hit punch for speed. So it's up to you. But you can go there and look around if you want.
Okay. I go to Gregory's weapon rack.
So you go into Gregory's weapon rack. The elf that was there before, let me see, you're getting there later. So he said he's not closing up yet, but he's the day is ending. He has one of the... Are you coming in your human form or your Kitsune form? You were in Kitsune form when you were helping Masterson. So.
I don't know. Has he seen me in my Kitsune form?
You mean has Gregory from Gregory's weapon rack seen you?
Yes.
If I remember right, Gregory saw you in your disguised human form, not in your Kitsune form. It's up to you.
Human form?
Okay, then you'll need to roll me a disguise check.
This?
Mm-hmm. And you get a big old bonus on it to...
19.
Okay, so 19 plus your disguise of 6.
25.
25. And then you get an extra bonus for disguising as your Kitsune form, so it's like a +10 or something like that. So that'll be added in there. You definitely...
I got 35.
To be your human form, yeah. So, yeah, he's welcome to this. Oh, hello, young boy. Come on in.
Daddy, I don't think that's a voice.
Is that how many things? He's a French. Elves in this setting are French, just because. So, just keeps it straight in my head. So, Zara, welcome, young lad. It is good to see you again. Did you enjoy and get much use out of the katana that was sold to you?
Yes. It's
Oh,
not
good.
as rusty as it was.
Well,
We could say that.
Well, I am pleased to hear that. Tell me, what may I help you with?
Do you have any of the... It's this boomerang weapon that's sort of like a sword?
A boomerang sword. I don't think I have a boomerang sword.
It's sort of like this. Except it's different.
You talking about that?
Yes.
That's a kukri.
Kukri?
A kukri? Let me see. He starts to look around a bit, and he does not seem to have one right now, but he says, could possibly order one for you? Is that something that you would like?
What did he say?
He would order one for you, but he doesn't have one in stock at the moment.
No, thank you.
Oh, it's too bad. Well, you can return there. Sometimes we get things that I don't even know are coming in. So. That's a scimitar. Your katana is just as good as a scimitar. You can't even use a scythe. So.
How can't I use his short scythe?
You can use, that's called a sickle. And I don't think you have... Ninjas only get a certain few things that they can use. I think you can use a sickle. It is a light melee weapon, so I'm pretty sure you can use a sickle, which is I'm trying to see. He's looking at the pictures in the core rule book. You definitely don't have proficiency with a spiked chain.
But I like it.
Well, I mean, it's cool, yeah, but you don't have proficiency with it. You'd have to do something different. But it's possible to do.
The sickle.
That's a scythe.
Scythe.
The sickle
I
is
want
a
a
small
sickle.
version. You want a sickle?
Uh-huh.
I'll
ask him if he has a sickle.
Oh, well, there are plenty of sickles in the marketplace. But if you are looking for a
Small sickle?
a sickle that is meant for war, like a weaponized sickle, then I have probably have one of those around. Yes.
Can I have it? How much would it be?
Well, the sickle is not very expensive. It's 8 gold.
I give him 8 gold.
All right, then just a moment. And he goes and he starts to look around and mark it off of your thing as he returns with... Where'd the pencil go? Go get a pencil. He returns with the 8... Oh, he takes your 8 gold and returns with the sickle. Seems to be of nice working order. He doesn't get much, apparently, call for sickle, as most people around here don't seem to be using it for a weapon. But mark that down on the sheet. All right. So, I think that's. Is that everything that you wanted to buy? Was there anything else you wanted to do?
Did he give me it?
Yes, he gives you a sickle. I actually need to put that down. Alright. Is there anything else you're wanting?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I go to bed.
Alright, so you head back to the Golden Grain.
But first, I put the sickle in the wardrobe.
Okay, so you head back to the Golden Grain and you put up your equipment and stuff like that.
And then I go to bed. Because I'm tired.
Okay. That is fine. So you get yourself all taken care of. You get set around for the night and
I go to sleep.
Right.
Wait, is it going to be rainy tonight?
You don't know. You've paid for a year. I mean, there's no reason not to stay here that I know of. Unless you're worried about something, but don't think so.
If it's going to rain in the game, I'll have plenty of sleep.
Oh. It's not exactly the rainy season, so you don't get that idea. But
it may.
You don't know. So, you go ahead and rest for the night, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So resting for the night, you're taken care of, and then you've got all that worked out. You can probably get an early breakfast in before you are supposed to meet with Masterson.
Okay.
It's up to you.
What does she have on the menu?
Today she's cooking up oats and sausage.
Chopped up sausage on oats?
Oh, all right, dear. We can do that just fine, says Matilda. You just sit on down. We'll get you taken care of.
I sit on the bar.
Okay, you sit at the bar, and you eat up. She just charges you a copper piece. She doesn't.
I don't have a copper piece, but I do have gold.
Well, I understand that, but a gold piece is worth
10.
No,
Silvers.
A gold piece is worth 10 silvers, and 10 silvers is worth a gold piece is worth 10 silvers. A copper piece is worth a silver piece is worth 10 coppers. So she's basically not charging you really much at all.
I give her a piece of gold.
You give her a gold?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she said, "Oh, we're so generous as always. I tell you what, you give me that, it'll take care of you for..." She starts to count up. And, let me see. She says, "I'll take care of you for the rest of the week."
How would that take care of... I'm not talking about the game. How would that take care of me for the rest of the week?
Well, there's about... fuzzy math. You've got 1 gold piece. That 1 gold piece is worth 10 silver. 1 silver is worth 10 copper pieces. She was only going to charge you a copper piece, which was basically letting you have the meal, because she seems to be partial to you for helping her. But aside from that, she wasn't going to charge you for your meals much anyway. So you giving her a gold piece is like her, and her saying this is like saying, "Don't you worry about it. You've got all of your meals taken care of for the next week for that gold piece." Because they don't, they're not serving.
She doesn't know I have any copper or silver?
Right. She doesn't know why you're always giving her gold pieces. You're giving her gold pieces.
A whole piece of... How big are these gold pieces anyway?
They're about this big. About the size of a $50.
About the size of... Let me show you.
No, we probably need to say they're about the size of a quarter, because if you're lugging around hundreds of gold pieces, that can get heavy and it can get bulky.
Like this?
No, that's a little big. It's more the size of a quarter.
Hmm.
Alright, so there you go.
Anyway, I head over to the Shire Reefs.
Okay, So the Shirreef wanted to meet at the edge of town.
I head over to the edge of town. Which edge of town?
The one near the Forgotten Fields.
Okay, so that would be right about where the crosstown is? Where the crosstown
where the
sign
word
is?
crosstown is, where the word town is. On the other side of the road where the word town is on the map.
On the inn?
The the northeastern side of Crosstown is where the Forgotten Farms begins. And it stretches several acres. So. You just head that way?
Okay. I show the Shirreef where I was.
Okay, you walk up, and are you in your human form or Kitsune form?
Kitsune.
Okay. So you come up in your Kitsune form, he recognizes you, he's like, alright. Are you ready?
Yes.
No, that's not the right voice. Howdy, boy. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, now, I know that it's going to be me, Delilah, and then he points, some of my deputies are all going to be on the side, and...
We need to surround him. Like, 4 can be on the north side, the east side, the south side, and the west side. 1 on each side in case they try to run off. I mean, the 1, maybe at least, and then there could be some at the 2 at the sides of the doors if you have that much.
Well, I don't know.
Even though there's only 2.
Yeah.
They have big beefy muscles.
Well, now you gotta watch these critters, because these particular types of individuals, these Duergar, as they're called, they've got the ability to make themselves bigger and stronger, so you gotta watch them. Even that one that's wounded can be dangerous. So
it can make its leg be better by just by getting big.
no, but I mean, like, you can't just go up and expect them to roll over for you. They're gonna smack you across the head as best they can. These Duergar on the surface ain't a common thing, so
we could try to sneak attack it with my bow.
well, I don't know if you got some kind of ability to get in there and sneak attack them, launch a sneak attack on them. That's fine. Yeah, you're a ninja. You know how to. You have sneak attack abilities. If they don't know you're there, you can do a sneak attack on them. Basically.
Can I do a poison potion?
Well, you haven't gotten any poison or anything. So.
I tell the Shirreef, hold on, wait a minute. I need to get something.
Well, you being a little ninja know that you can't just go to the store and buy a bit of poison. You have to contact the right people, we'll put it that way. So, you're not sure, you didn't see any poisons at Gregory's, and you didn't see any poisons at Half-Man Outfitters. You haven't seen any poison. That's
because Half-Man Outfitters doesn't do poison.
Well, they do a little bit of everything, but they market to the halflings and the shorter people. But that aside, the halflings and the gnomes, but that aside, buying poison, you can't just go and buy it at the supermarket. You have to look for it in certain areas. So that might take several hours. You guys are supposed to go out and look for these people this morning.
I show him where I went.
Okay. Are you being sneaky, or what you doing?
I'm trying to be cautious and conscious.
Cautious, yes.
In case there's someone there, or one of his deputies are with him.
Okay. Gotta speak up so they can hear you. you can go. If you're going to be sneaking, then you need to roll for it. If you're going to roll, you still need to roll. But if you're going to be sneaking, that's fine. If you're going to turn,
I'm just being cautious.
So you're trying to sneak.
Yes.
Okay. So no magical abilities means that you just do a straight roll with your stealth check. So you can do that.
A 12 plus or minus.
Well, your stealth check always has a bonus. 12 plus 10.
22.
22. So you get a 22, and we'll see what a Duergar get.
I'm just trying to be cautious on the way.
Right. So you sneak up to the area where you saw them before. You're very stealthy, and you can tell that while the others are not the best at it, in fact, Delilah, the secretary, seems to be rather inept at sneaking. She trips over her bow a little bit. This is obviously not her element, but she seems to be okay. She knows how to handle a bow, because you can tell by the way she's holding it. But all that aside, she kind of trips over some stuff and makes a bit of noise as you guys are going along. But you think that you, for sure, are quieted. So, what would you...
I show them where I got in, and show them the little path that I followed.
All right. Masterson's there with you. He says, all right. I'm going to have my deputies on that east side over there. You go ahead and...
Lure them out?
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea. We want to try and catch them in there. If we can catch them in there, it's a kind of a small house. So they probably wouldn't enlarge themselves while they're in there, because they'd be hampered to trying to get out. So...
And they be squashed, and they tear the house.
Well, I don't know about them tearing the house, but wouldn't behoove them to try and do that.
Well, this is the Forgotten Farms. These houses are old and ruggedy.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how rugged this house is. But all that aside, we need to... If you want to go in there and do that, that's fine. But...
I sneak... When he's done talking to me, I sneak over at the window with my bow.
Okay.
I try and aim at the one with the hammers.
Okay, make me a perception check as you come to the window.
Okay. 8.
8 plus your perception, which is a plus 5. So 8 plus 5.
13.
13. So your 13, with your 13, you can see that as you come up to this kind of wood stone structure, you see that the windows are covered, but they were covered before also. But the windows, the wind seems to be blowing them a bit and rustling not the windows themselves, of course, but the
curtains,
raggedy, torn curtains that are there, that are stained brown from time if they didn't start out that way. And they seem to be blowing them. And as you look, you kind of peek in, and they don't seem to be there.
I totally shy reef.
Okay, you go back over to him, or you kind of just stand up and say, "Oh, nothing in here."
I sneak over to them in the grass. Will that need a stealth check?
You can use the same check you used before.
13.
13 plus 10 for your stealth.
30.
No.
23.
23. Alright. So you sneak back over. You don't think anyone heard you. In fact, Shire Masterson kind of goes, oh. Sorry to disappear up there. What'd you see?
There's no one in there.
What?
There's no one in there.
Oh, we better get in there and see if they left anything, he says, standing up out of stealth and going in there with his boys. He says, gives them a hand signal, and they kind of all
run
go
over
in.
there. 1.
To do what? That's an 11.
11.
What are you doing?
I'm running over there in the grass. Below.
You're still stealthing, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have to keep rolling again. So you kind of stay stealthed as you go in and watch from the edge.
I'm trying to be cautious of my surroundings to make sure they're not trying to sneak attack us.
Oh, okay. So you think they might be trying to sneak up on you?
And the others.
You can roll me another perception check just to see if you can see what's going on, if anything.
A 6.
6
6 plus 10?
Your perception is 5. So
11?
11. You don't see anything, but you do see you see Masterson come out, and actually you see Delilah, and Delilah up near the front. She doesn't know necessarily. She kind of sees you sneaking around, doesn't pay any attention, but you see her go like double take, look twice down at the ground, and she says, "Sir, over here." And she kind of points to the ground and points to some drag marks and some tracks. And they seem to lead away from this particular farmhouse.
So it's further over here by the O or SS?
No. Don't use that as a way to try and gauge the distance. It's not to scale. That's just the general area of where it is. So it's just in between Crosstown and the mountains.
So at that S or lower further behind that?
That's not a good reference. Just in between Crosstown and the mountains, close to the road, is where the Forgotten Farms are. It's still close enough to Crosstown to be a district, so it's not far from it. But the part of it that you're at is way into it. So you go.
We head to the next barn.
Well, they want to follow Masterson and Delilah and the others. They want to follow this set of tracks. They think it might be the Duergar's tracks leading away. Are you going to follow them or?
Yes, I'm going to follow them.
Okay, you can do that. So you go ahead and follow them. Still stealthing, I am suspecting, and stuff. Alright, so you can roll for you, and then you can and I'll roll for them.
A 4?
4 plus 10, because your stealth is a plus 10.
That's 14? 14?
Okay. You see that they all make a better go of it this time. They're more stealthy than they were. And you can see the tracks too. It seems like someone may have tried to cover them up, but didn't do a very good job. And they seem to lead up.
I snip it out.
You don't have scent unless you change into your fox form.
I change it to my fox form. And if I'm thinking of the right thing, I don't have to roll for it, since I had a ability.
You do have to roll for it. You get a bonus to your perception check. So you
6. I'm 19.
19 plus your perception, which is 10, so that's 20.
29.
29. You make your way, and you can pick it out pretty easy. You see that Delilah and Masterson both give you kind of a glance, like, oh, when they see you kind of just transform into your fox form. And they're like, oh. And they see you sniffing, and they see, oh. They kind of nod to each other. Well, I guess you're just leading us on, boy. Let's do it. And so they kind of sneak behind you, and you kind of sniff the air. And it appears that other dwarf is still wounded, because you can catch the smallest tinge of an irony smell, which you guess to be blood, probably from his wounded leg. And he goes on and on. You sniff around, and they seem to have gone up the old road towards closer to the mountains, near the end of the Forgotten Farm district. And there's another farmhouse there that is made completely out of wood. There's no stone in this particular one.
That means it must be ruggedy. Some ruggedy.
Well, it's a small farmhouse, but the beams that it contains are big, thick beams. So, it's a sturdy farmhouse to have lasted this long for sure, but it's also older too. And there's
it's one of the.
The further you got, the closer you got to the mountain range. You haven't gotten to the mountain range, and that's not what I'm trying to say. But as you journey farther away from Crosstown, that's a better way of saying it, you see a tree or two kind of come up. And this particular place has a tree as well, has like 3 trees by the farmhouse that have come up. Looks like one of them probably came up after it was built, but after people left, but before this time, of course, because it's rather a bit newer and not nearly as thick. So it seems to lead in, and this door is cracked that you're coming up to, and it's shaded by the.
I stealth.
So you're still stealthed. Well, you're already. You can.
That's 11.
You're still stealth.
Are they?
They were stealth. And you see. You can make me a perception check.
I sniff it. I'm trying to sniff in the air to see if I catch a smell of them better.
You do seem to catch a smell of them. You've tracked the smell to this place, and you're getting closer. And you need to roll me a perception check.
17.
17 plus 5.
22.
17. Yep. Okie dokie. So, as you're approaching, you hear someone in the back. Their armor clangs a bit, and you look at the door to the place, to the farmhouse, and it closes. It had been cracked, but it closes when that noise is made.
Does he hear me sniffing?
Well, you don't know that anybody heard you, but you heard some armor clank behind you from one of the guards, and then you saw the door to the farmhouse close very quickly because it was cracked about this much, about 4 or 5 inches. So, what do you want to do?
I stealth with my bow at the window.
So you come out of fox form, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do you say you just gonna go up there?
I say to the Shirey, stay here. I'll check if that's actually them.
Okay.
That is an 8 plus 5?
8 plus 10 for your...
8 plus 10. 18.
18. So running off the past perception roll, as you're starting to sneak around and move closer, you hear a twing come through and a swoosh come through the open window that's just covered with cloth, basically cloth curtains, and it 17. What is your armor class again? 19. Your AC is 19. So it goes and something right past your ear, and it goes into the ground. It is a crossbow bolt.
I take it and I show it to them. They know we're here.
So you kind of pick it up and you go back, look at Masterson. They know we're here, and then you hear a ruckus inside. Rolling for initiative.
What is it? This or is it different one?
That one.
Okay. 11.
11 plus your initiative, which is a 6.
6 and 6.
So no, it's 11 plus 6.
17. Okay, it's 17.
Let's see what they get. Stop. Stop. Alright, so we'll get their initiative up. 19. So that's an 18. 10. Alright, now for the guards. 18. So, Masterson. Delilah. And Delilah got 15 total. Guard got and both the guards got a 16. Okay, so it's going to flow like this. The first Draugr is going to go, then Masterson, then you, then the guards, then Delilah, then the other Draugr. So,
Bum, bum, bum.
bum, 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 for those keeping track at home. So, let's go ahead and get this started.
Bum, bum, bum.
So the first Draugr, you hear him, you hear him mutter some words, and it goes, you hear a sound.
I don't.
Nothing flies past you, but you hear a sound. And the door opens to the thing.
I dunk in the grass.
But no one's there. You don't see anyone.
I dunk in the grass and open a little bit right there. Yeah, in the grass.
Okay, you can't do anything yet. It's not your turn. It's now Masterson's turn. He's going to move up towards the thing. He doesn't see anyone, so he's going to get his put his short bow up as he's going and get his long bow out. I mean, it's a short bow. He's going to put up his long bow and get his short sword out, or his sword. You don't know if it's a short sword or not. It's kind of a more customized sword.
Like an Imperial sword, except better, or...
If you're thinking about Skyrim terms, yeah, it would look more like an Imperial sword than it would an iron sword. And he's going to draw that, and he's going to kind of watch and look. He doesn't see anything, so he's going to kind of just approach carefully.
What if there's a bolt coming out and hitting his head?
There doesn't seem to be.
Or his leg. Or his chest.
Well, there doesn't seem to be. He says, the wounded one is... Y'all be careful, the wounded one's still in there, but I don't see the one that ain't.
The one that has good legs?
Yeah, the one that's legs weren't messed up. He doesn't see that one, that's what he's saying. So he's saying, be careful. Next, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I peek in through the side. Like sneak like that.
So you sneak it the rest of the way up to the house?
And I peek in there.
Through the open door or through the window?
Through the window behind the house.
So you want to sneak around the house then?
And look through the window.
Okay, you can do that. You should have enough movement to do that. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check just to make sure.
11.
11 plus 10.
21.
21. So you do 21. You go to 21, and let me see. Then you sneak around, and you kind of peek in. Roll me a perception check.
4.
4.
Plus or minus?
4 plus 5 was your perception. So
10.
4 plus 5.
9.
9. So you
That was horrible.
roll in and you kind of look around. You don't see him, but you do see the wounded one has started. You know, he's stood up and he looks like he's going to hobble over towards the open door.
I run around as fast as I can.
No, you can't run around as fast as you can. That's what you can do. You moved, you stealthed.
I alert them by throwing the bolt up in the air.
Okay, so you throw the bolt up in the air. All right. It is now the guard's turn, so they're going to come up by Masterson. They don't see anything, so they're going to just they're going to move in to the place. They're close enough that they could move in front of him. No, they won't do that. They won't move in before him because they don't know what's going on. He told them to be careful. So they're going to move up by him. And they're going to ready an attack in case they see something.
Like this?
And one of them will say, y'all, come out and surrender or face the wrath of the god. You hear the Duergar go, just kind of snort and say something in a language you're not quite familiar with.
Can I try and... Wait, no, it's not my turn.
Nope, it's not your turn. It's Delilah's turn. Delilah's going to... she's going to move a bit. And you can see her moving from the other window on the other side. Because it's a one-room farmhouse again. And as you do, you see that she's kind of lining herself up. And she's got the bow drawn. And she's ready. You can even see a kind of flicker of acknowledgement in her eyes. She sees you there, and she's like, she knows you're there. But she's aiming at the other Duergar that's in there. And she's got her bow out, and she seems to be, lined up pretty straight.
And she fires!
Well, she doesn't fire yet because they were told to surrender. So she's kind of waiting for their response and waiting on Masterson. Now this other one. Here's the interesting part. With this other one, you see him go out of sight. Just kind of disappears. Goes invisible.
I go under the house.
You can't go under the house.
What is it?
It's built right on the ground. Yeah, it's there's nothing to go under.
I thought it had little bricks under it.
No, this one's all wood and it's up a little bit off the ground, but no, it's not. It's actually built on the ground. This has a dirt floor. So
I dig a little cubby hole.
You don't have enough time to dig under the house. But it's back up to the other Duergar's turn. Masterson and him. So you kind of hear boards creaking, and then all of a sudden, you see on the other side, behind Masterson, an enlarged Duergar standing 12 feet high with his war hammers smashed down onto Masterson.
Am I gonna have to be a new chief or something?
No. 18. He's got his warhammer. 18. That's enough. That's 21 to hit the chief, the Sheriff, and it does. So he's doing a D8 of damage. Oh, he did minimum damage. 1 plus 1, and then it's 2 more. 1, 2, 3 damage.
And that didn't do much at all for its big, huge size.
I know.
He
just came out of invisibility, though. He just appeared. As the hammer came down, you saw him start to appear. And he smashes into the back of Masterson. And Masterson goes, "Ah, cowards!" And he turns. You see him start to turn to face him.
Is it my turn? It says my turn.
It is Masterson's turn. So Masterson's turn Masterson is going to swing at. Masterson is going to swing at this guy
with his short or long sword, probably a medium sword.
So he swings, and let me see, 13 plus. What is his AC? He swings at him, but he goes. It kind of. The surprise seems to have caught him off guard. He kind of stumbles a bit as he swings with the sword, and he goes, ugh, and he kind of shifts a bit, and he gets his shield on and shifts his shield over to get it and use it. He had it on his back. So.
Is it my turn?
Yes, now it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I use my thing to aim at the... Is it bigger than a house? The barn house.
You mean, can you see it? You can see parts of him from here, but he would have cover, so you'd need to go around the front of the house to get a clean shot on him.
Okay, I go to the edge of the house and aim at it at the edge on his, right here on his chest.
So you aim at the big guy, the big Duergar.
With the whatever's. Okay, do I have to roll?
Oh, he would have hit him actually. No, he wouldn't have. So, yes.
A 6.
6 plus your attack bonus. I don't think so. Let me make sure. 6 plus your short bow, which is attack bonus plus 5. 6 plus 5. 11 misses. So,
do I hit?
Here, you hold this.
Do I hit Masterson?
Do you hit Masterson? No. You don't hit Masterson. Only on natural ones do we talk about hitting allies. So, you go, and it seems to zing past the Duergar, the Warhammer Duergar's ear.
Can I please just go back like this against the wall?
I mean, flavor-wise, you can. You can't move anymore right now.
I was gonna do that.
Now it's the guard's turn. They're going to swing at the giant too. Not the giant, the Duergar.
The Duergar giants.
And 18. Oh, they both hit. So that's good. They're
much
going
damage?
to do. One of them is wielding a mace, and one of them is wielding a sword, similar to Masterson's.
Except it's different.
Ooh, one does almost max damage. So 7 plus 2. 9 damage.
9
And then
damage.
4, 6. So total of 15 damage to the Duergar.
Okay, so that was their turn, so.
And they seem to cut down the Duergar. They go, and it goes, and as he falls, he seems to fall onto one of their swords. He falls onto the sword of the one, and it pierces through him. He splits as he spits dark dwarven blood. He goes over the man and he shrinks as it spits out of his mouth into normal dwarven form.
And I finish him off by chopping his head off.
Well, there's still one left.
Aww.
There's still one left. And that's what Delilah, that's their turn. That's what Delilah says. There's still one left. Where is it at? And she kind of looks.
Keep your guard up.
She kind of checks again, but she doesn't seem to be able to see.
So it's the Duergar's turn.
It is the Duergar's turn.
Wait, one died.
Hear,
which one was the Duergar?
The one that died is the big Duergar that enlarged himself.
So that one's dead.
Mm-hmm. So now the other one's missing. Where's it? So she can't see him. She doesn't know where he is. She's readying an attack for when she sees him again. And he starts to move, starts to go edge around, and it is now that Duergar's turn. He's going to try. You can make out like a footfall in a creaking, but you can't tell where it is. It's quiet.
I see. He's in the house.
Okay, so you say that, and they start to look. So
he's in the house, but he's invisible. I heard he creaking.
You hear a limping, but that's it. So now it's Masterson's turn. Masterson's gonna listen to you, and he's gonna start to move into the house. He's gonna
be
look
cautious.
around. He's gonna look around.
Is he at the? Is he directly at the door?
Masterson is now. He's right at the door. He's looking in. He doesn't seem to see anything. You see their bags are still sitting there. So if this guy's in there, he's not messing with the bags. He's not doing anything. He didn't take anything with him apparently. He was just like getting out if he's out, or if he's in there, he's hiding. So Masterson's watching for him. He's got an
Shoot
attack
arrows
ready.
everywhere in the room, I say.
Well, you can't do that and effectively hit him because you're just shooting into dead space. So it'd be a risk. But it's your turn. What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to sneak in the window.
Okay. You can definitely climb into the window. It's open. The shutters on it have long since fallen off.
So, sneak.
Well, you don't have to. You can sneak if you want to. You don't have to sneak.
I sneak so he doesn't see me if he's there.
Okay.
Okay, so sneak.
S.
S.
It's stealth.
Stealth would be a +10.
Mm-hmm.
A 16 plus 10. A 26.
26. 26.
Does it pass?
Finding invisible creatures is very hard. You were sneaking. That's right.
In the window.
So you sneak in, and Masterson hardly even notices you're there. He doesn't even notice you're there until you make eye contact with him. He's like, "Whoa, way to go!" Ooh, not where to go.
I sniff around in I transform to my fox form.
Unfortunately, your fox form is a once-a-day thing, I believe. Let me make sure.
Can I sniff around?
Plus in disguise, low vision, superior shapeshifter, fox form, it's bonus face 1. So, you only get it once a day. You used it today, so. You can look around for him. I mean, you can look with a perception check.
Can I sniff around to try and find him, to try and pick up a scent?
Well, that'd be a perception check, and you don't have the scent ability to give you a bonus, but you can look around for him.
I feel around everywhere.
Okay, you're perceiving to try. You're trying to perceive
I'm
him,
on the
so
floor.
roll to see if you get.
I'm on the floor.
Roll a perception check.
16.
That's 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
19. Wait, what was I doing?
Perception. That's profession.
5.
5. 19 plus 5.
24.
Okay, finding something that is invisible, especially since you know that when you turn invisible you're incredibly hard to find, is very hard. And you just can't seem to get a beat on him.
I go invisible.
No, you gotta use a standard action to go invisible with your foxtail. So, you can't do that this time, but you look around, you can't see him.
Wait, I have 2 tails since I'm level 2?
Well, you have 2 tails because you're a fox. You have that special fox Kitsune spirit quality. Alright. Hold your character sheet. Now it's the guards. They're gonna start. Masterson says, "Look around. See if he jumped out the window or something." Man, I keep slipping into that. So they start looking around too. That's tilted. And they kind of go around. Masterson seems to be guarding the door. They go to the windows and look around. So
I feel around. When it's my turn, I go invisible.
We'll see.
Invisible.
So it's now Delilah's turn. Delilah kind of watches
and
Seer,
listens.
And she says, "There!" And she lets loose an arrow. She's got to roll a D100 to see if she misses. She does not miss. So she's going to do a
D6.
4
points of damage. So 4.
No, she does 5 points of damage.
5.
So you see her let loose, and it goes, and it hits. It's outside. The Duergar got outside before anybody got out there. So he's right outside on the edge, and there's this gout.
Follow the arrow, I say.
Yeah, the arrow hits him, and you see it disappear as it hits him because now it's part of his get up. But he's now bleeding. So
follow the blood.
We'll see. It's now his turn. He's going to try and sneak away some more.
16 or 15 or 19.
So he's sneaking away. He's sneaking away. He's trying to sneak away.
I follow the blood drops.
It's...
Wait, I go invisible.
Masterson's turn, so he's going to start to run out there and see if he can catch up to him. Is Masterson going to be able to see the blood? Masterson's... the blood's pumping now. Masterson can feel it. He can't find the blood trail yet. So, it's your turn.
Okay, I go invisible.
You go invisible? Okay.
And I go out the window.
Okay. You go out the window?
Yeah.
So that's your movement.
I try and find the blood.
Okay.
The blood trail.
So it takes a standard action to do that, and then to go out the window is just some movement. So standard to movement, and now you can make a perception check to look for the blood.
Oh, natural 1.
Natural 1.
Perception. 5.
1 plus 5.
6.
Yes. All right. So you look around. You're looking around too. You're trying to hunt it down. The guards go out and they start looking around as well.
Wait, doesn't that invisible person. Can't I
And
see you?
one of them says, there's the trail. And you, when they say that, you hear a kind of
And I
that
run.
odd language, and you can kind of get an idea. But you've got a better idea now where he is, but he's still hidden. Delilah is going to make another perception check.
3.
She doesn't seem to see, but she starts to move up to where he was and starts looking for the blood trail as well. He's going to try and slip away some more. Okay.
Okay, him.
Now it's Masterson.
Masterson.
Masterson's looking. Masterson finds the blood trail. And he says,
follow Masterson.
Masterson says, here. And then you,
I go over to it.
it's your turn, so you can look for the blood trail too. Now he seems to be coming your way. Masterson seems to be coming around the back. You went through the window that goes to the back, so Masterson seems to be coming around the back.
A 14.
14 plus your perception is 5, is it not? 14 plus 5.
A 19.
So you're, though you are invisible, you see the blood trail seems to pass right in front of you. So you start to turn that way, and you see some grass disturbed and stuff like that, and it's going that way. It's trying to get out of here.
I try and go. I make movements. I stomp, make movement.
Oh, to attract attention?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you attract attention for, the guards hear that, and they start to come, they seem like they're going to start to come that way and follow the trail too. But you also hear someone over there, something over there shift and tries to see you. You can tell that they stop moving, trying to see you, but then it doesn't seem to notice anything.
I stomp.
Okay.
I keep stomping.
Well, the guards in Masterson heard you over on their side, but something down where the blood trail is stopped. You heard a shifting, like it was stopping and listening, but then went on.
I follow where that sound was, if I can.
You have enough movement. You can start to follow the blood trail. You picked up the blood trail, so you start to follow it. So yeah, there's that.
I'm trying to move the grass out of the way to find it then.
Okay.
Follow the moving grass, I say.
And let me see. Now it is the guard's turn. So they.
What I'm trying to say is follow me, the moving grass. And I'm
Okay.
invisible.
So you're purposefully making noise and stuff, trying to move, and get that going. So you can definitely do that. They seem to follow. Delilah is coming behind as well, and she seems to see your movements and be following you, but she can't seem to get track of the Duergar. So now the Duergar's turn. So with the Duergar's turn, he's going to go. Again, you hear something in the voice of a language you don't understand, and you see it come out of invisibility and put its hands up and say, "Ugnats, Ugnats."
It's saying, I surrender, I surrender.
You think so? So let me see. Everybody sees.
I run to him.
Okay, he's not actually that far in front of you. He has not been able to move very fast.
Because of his injured leg.
Apparently. He's got an arrow sticking out of his back right now, too. So he's like, Ugnats, Ugnats.
Surrender, I surrender.
And you seem to have effectively caught, you and your little group seems to have effectively caught the Duergar. And that is where we're going to call it.
Bum, bum, bum. And I grab his hands. Bye-bye now.
So, Moon has effectively caught the Moon and company, has effectively caught the Duergar. So now we get to see what develops. Why were these Duergar so close to so much above the surface? Odd behavior for Duergar indeed. But you'll have to find out next time. We hope you enjoyed. Do have a great time. And do remember everything that we announced earlier today on this particular episode. If you would like to, you can check out all the links below in the description for things like our Patreon, our Facebook, stuff like that. All of those are available, Twitter, stuff like that. Thank you, travelers, for coming by. Have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye. This content was made possible by the generous support of patrons and travelers like you. Thank you.